Something huge is about to happen behind the scenes at the Los Angeles Chargers, and it could completely change the course of our season. The team is about to make a crucial decision that could transform the offense and strengthen the entire squad's confidence heading into the Super Bowl. And best of all, no one expected this move, but it's about to happen. I've got exclusive information, and today I'm going to reveal it all to you. So, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, because this big surprise that's coming will touch the hearts of every Chargers fan. The Los Angeles Chargers are going through a string of struggles that seems to have no end. After a tough 27-10 loss to the Washington Commanders, another major loss has rocked the team. Rookie running back Omarion Hampton was the latest player to suffer an ankle injury, sparking a wave of concern throughout the team. The injury occurred during a play late in the third quarter when Hampton tripped over Commanders linebacker Frankie Louvu and fell threateningly. The image of Hampton limping off the field, wearing a walking boot on his left foot, made the impact of the situation clear. On Monday, head coach Jim Harbaugh confirmed that the player will be placed on injured reserve, meaning he will be out of action for at least the next 4 games. This setback adds to a series of injuries that have hit the Chargers lately, most notably the loss of running back Najee Harris, who tore his Achilles tendon in Week 3. With Hampton now out of the rotation indefinitely, the Chargers' backfield is being severely impacted, and the responsibility for the running back position falls to Hassan Haskins, Kimani Vidal, and Amar Johnson. Meanwhile, the team is searching for alternatives on the market, trying to bolster the running back position. So far, Hampton has been one of the season's breakout stars. He had assumed the starting running back role after Harris's injury and excelled, recording 380 yards from scrimmage, leading all NFL rookies. In his final performance before the injury, Hampton had 12 carries for 44 yards and added 6 receptions for 26 yards. His average of 4.8 yards per carry was among the best in the league, making him an essential piece of the Chargers' offense. With his absence now confirmed, the team is forced to reinvent its running attack, looking for quick solutions to compensate for the loss of its leading rusher. Now, the outlook for the Los Angeles Chargers is clearer than ever. With starting running back Omarion Hampton out of action indefinitely, the team finds itself in an emergency situation, requiring immediate alternatives to keep its running game competitive and functional. Coach Jim Harbaugh, aware of the gravity of the situation, has already made it clear that the team will look at all options to strengthen this critical position. This means the market will be thoroughly explored, and moves could happen at any time to bring in a new running back or even make trades. The big question now is, who can effectively replace Hampton and minimize the impact of this loss? Among the alternatives, some names are beginning to gain prominence. Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints is an option who could provide the immediate impact the Chargers need. Kamara, despite seeing his workload reduced in recent games due to the development of other players on the Saints roster, remains a lethal threat in the backfield, with his ability to run and catch passes. The 30-year-old is still highly respected in the league for his vision, explosiveness, and his dual-threat running back skills. Another name emerging as a possible solution is Gus Edwards, a former Ravens player who already has experience with the Chargers. Edwards was a starter for several seasons, rushing for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns last season, demonstrating his ability to step in and play a significant role. However, signing both players could be a challenge, as both have substantial contracts and the market is highly competitive. Besides the struggles in the backfield, the Chargers still face a significant obstacle in their offensive line, which is far from healthy. Starting left tackle Rashawn Slater and right tackle Joe Alt continue to recover from significant injuries, adding even more pressure to offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Roman, known for his ability to devise creative offensive schemes, will now have to use all his experience to find quick and effective solutions. This includes adapting the running game to the new players available and adjusting strategies to avoid overloading the quarterback. Justin Herbert, who is already dealing with the pressure of leading an offense struggling to rebuild after injuries, needs to find ways to protect Herbert and ensure the running game remains relevant in the coming weeks. Further complicating the Los Angeles Chargers situation is the fact that the team is not only dealing with challenges in the backfield, but is also struggling to bolster its passing attack, a key part of Justin Herbert's offensive scheme. The tight end position, which should be a major asset in the quarterback's hands, remains a concern. Tyler Conklin, the leading tight end, has underperformed, underperformed, failing to find the end zone this season. This is particularly frustrating for the team, as tight end is often one of Herbert's primary options in the red zone. In this scenario, a bold trade could be in the offing. The Chargers may be targeting the experienced Mark Andrews, a tight end from the Baltimore Ravens. At 30 years old, Mark Andrews is already a solid NFL star, boasting an impressive 5,680 yards and 53 touchdowns in his career. Considered one of the best tight ends in the league, he has been a key component of the Ravens' offense since his arrival, establishing himself as a true threat both in the passing game and using his strong frame to gain yards after the catch. However, the Ravens' season has been somewhat turbulent, with performances below expectations. The team entered Week 5 with a 1-4 record, which puts their future in jeopardy and could lead them to consider some changes. In this context, a trade involving Andrews, who is in the final season of his contract, becomes a real possibility, especially since the Ravens already have young tight end Isaiah Likely, who has shown potential to take over the position in the future. This opens a window for the Chargers to seize this opportunity and bring an impactful piece to Herbert's offense. What makes this trade even more appealing for the Chargers is the connection between head coach Greg Roman and Mark Andrews. Roman was the Ravens' offensive coordinator and worked closely with Andrews during his years in Baltimore. This established coach-player relationship could facilitate Andrews' immediate adaptation to the Chargers' offensive system. For Justin Herbert, having a reliable target like Andrews, especially in the red zone, would be a huge improvement. Andrews' presence could be key to opening up the passing game more efficiently, allowing Herbert a reliable, high-quality option in crucial moments. This would also help alleviate pressure on the Chargers' wide receiver core, which still needs to find consistency and become more efficient. Despite the urgent need for reinforcements at several positions, the Chargers still face many challenges. The team must prepare for difficult games, including a matchup with the Miami Dolphins, where the pressure is immense to begin a recovery and get back to winning ways. The absences of key players like Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris, combined with a recovering offensive line, leave the Chargers in a vulnerable position. The team, however, needs to reinvent itself quickly and find solutions to these problems. The plan for the season requires the coaching staff, led by Jim Harbaugh, to be able to make the right choices, both in terms of trade moves and adjustments to the offensive scheme. The window for change is small, and the team depends not only on good acquisitions, but also on impeccable execution by the coaching staff. What is clear is that the Chargers cannot afford to wait for more injuries or difficulties. The time to turn things around is running out, and a poor choice now could cost the rest of the season, making it even more difficult to achieve the team's goals. The pressure is on the players and coaching staff to make the necessary changes and maximize the team's potential. With a passionate fan base and a roster brimming with talent, there is still hope for the Chargers. The fans are confident that the right moves, both on and off the field, can transform this difficult period into an opportunity for growth, putting the team back on the winning track and keeping the dream of competing in the Super Bowl alive.